Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club, and to my Irish friends, happy St. Patrick's Day. The rain has stopped, it's overcast, a bit of a breeze blowing, so what I'll do is I'll just stay here on wharf number 6, and I'll stay in this little area where I am so I don't get buffeted by the wind. And what we'll do is we'll do a book summary. And the book summary that we'll go through today is a bit of a tricky one, a little bit controversial, possibly, but let's just give it a go and see where it leads us. The book is entitled Why We Can't Sleep, and it's written by an author named Ada Calhoun. Ada Calhoun, and it's a book entitled Why We Can't Sleep. So where do we start? I guess we'll start with a quote that the author put at in her book. One of the main problems in making dreams come true, they cost money. And the other thing that the author talks about here is how do women deal with midlife crisis. It's one of those books which is going to take us on a bit of a tangent. But what we'll do is we'll just step through it, as I said before, and just see what we can make of it. But there are some very interesting points that the author raises, things that we could possibly discuss and think about, and I guess it impacts each and every one of us. So how do women deal with midlife crisis? Because women tend to have quite a few things to juggle in their lives. They've got their children, they've got aging parents, they've got their work, and it's a tough old juggle all around. And it's a lot tougher nowadays with the modern views that a lot of us have, and the modern families that we all live in. And the author goes on to say in her first structured point in the book that Generation X girls were brought up to believe that they could have everything, and it is simply untrue, according to the author. With the feminist movement, women got excited that they could have it all. No longer did they have to settle to be just the secretary. They could be CEO if they wanted to. And with all of these promises, this author talks about, with all of these promises came great pressure, because we all, including the ladies and females, feel that they need to do it all and to have everything. And to have that pressure put upon you causes a lot of anxiety. The author goes on to say that many challenges out of their control impacts their dreams, because we can have it all. Yes, you can have everything if you really focus on it. But with that, there was a lot of impacts which have hit us, which is sideswiped a lot of dreams. Now we've had COVID-19 over the past couple of years. We have lockdowns, we have recessions, and there are so many things that impact people's dreams and knock them for six actually, because you're in a job, you're in a career, you're running a business, your own business, whatever it may be, and then all of a sudden COVID-19 comes along and ruins everything for the short term and possibly for the longer term. And the author then talks about the fact that women have to juggle both age and gender discrimination, as well as bring up a family, deal with jobs which may offer less pay. And it gets worse. It gets worse for women as they approach middle age and lose, to a certain extent, the magic that they once had. Because ageism is rampant as Gen X are competing with millennials who are more tech savvy and are more aggressive in their push to achieve their dreams. The other issue that modern women have, according to the author, is that women are expected to be more engaged with their children, more so than ever before. The expectations are high. Women are expected to work longer and harder, putting in massive hours in their work in order to make a difference and achieve their goals. They have to work much harder than previous generations from a career perspective. And everything seems to be impossible these days, which brings with it a tremendous amount of anxiousness, according to the author. So the author then goes on to her point 3 in this book, which is basically a wake-up call for all of us, including women, to understand how tough life is and to sit and think about those little white lies that they were given early in the piece to distract them and to get them off course. Because to a certain extent, creating unreal expectations in people is in itself a problem. Telling people that they can have everything, telling people that all they have to do is just work hard and they can have everything, is in itself a bit of a folly. Because what we've done, what parents have done, what governments have done, what the feminist movement has done, is it's created unreal and unrealistic expectations. And there comes a time where everybody needs to come to terms with reality and to have that reality check. Life is not social media. Life is not all about the pictures, the nights out, the laughs, the image of the perfect life. Loneliness, according to the author, is normal, and being alone is not something that is unusual. And there are many things, according to the author, that hinder progress, because many things are out of our control or your control. Depression is normal, but for those who have depression or are feeling depressed, they need to get support, and not to think that they're the only ones or they're singled out and being on their own. But what is needed is patience and compassion. So that's a tough old 5 a.m. club to give today. But I see that even in my mother's generation, she came to Australia, from Greece, from a village, where it was a completely different lifestyle. And she came here, she worked hard, she worked 7 days a week in order to educate her one and only son, to live a better lifestyle, to own her own home, and to achieve quite a few things. But at the end of the day, it came at a price. And that price meant that she was away from her homeland, away from her family and friends. She was working 7 days a week, and she left this world very early. At 63 years of age, she suffered from cancer and passed away, not really getting an opportunity to get a chance to travel, to enjoy her granddaughters, and to do a lot of the things that she would have loved to have done. But there you go. I guess this book here is a bit of a warning to each and every one of us, including women, that when you're young, to try and find balance in your life. To have big dreams and to go for those big dreams, but also to realise that each person has different stages in their lives. There's a stage to grow up, to be a teenager, to be a toddler. There's a stage to go to school and to be an academic. There's a stage to get married, to start a family. And there's a time and place for everything, and we need to understand that there are body clocks ticking away that cannot be ignored, because if you leave certain things in your life for far too late, then chances are they may never eventuate. I remember being at IBM, and the IBMism that I remember and I'm very, very fond of was when a manager told me, he said, James, if you haven't achieved your major milestones by the age of 30, chances are you never will, because they're just not a priority in your life. So getting married, starting a family, being a manager of people, being well on your way in your career, all of these things need to be done as early as possible in your life in order for them to happen. Because once again, if you leave it for too late, then it may never happen, it may never eventuate, and you may never get an opportunity to express that part of your life. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay reasonable, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's make sure that we have a balanced view of life and not forsake the key achievements that we need to achieve in our lives in order to live our dreams, because those dreams that we live, if they're not the right dreams, may have us climbing a ladder which is pressed up against the wrong wall, and you climb to the top and all of a sudden you look across and say, well, geez, I made a few mistakes and I'm climbing the wrong ladder, whereas I should have been doing something else in my life to feel fulfilled, to feel happy, and to not have the regrets that you may have if you haven't been able to tick the boxes that you wanted to tick. Take care, and I look forward to coming to you again. If you like you, from Jim's 5am Club, and we'll chat again shortly. Bye for now.